Hi Venkatesh, hope you are doing good. I just review your CV. It's look good. Could you please tell about yourself?
Yes, ma'am. Thanks for welcoming. Yeah, as you know, I'm Venkatesh. So I'm working as a cloud administrator, especially in the AWS. So I'm working as a AWS administrator. I'm handling the cloud operations in my project. So my day-to-day activity is handling the AWS major services like EC2, VPC, S3, load balancers, and other services like RDS, network communications, and those things. And I'm a graduate. So this is my third project. The last two projects I have worked as a administrators on the Windows and Linux networking VMware. Yes, ma'am. That's all about.
Okay, Venkatesh. So let's move to the questions. What are the different types of EC2 instances which know based on their cost?
Yes, ma'am. When you're talking about EC2 instances type, basically there is a three type of major EC2 instance type. We can say one is on-demand, another one is reserved instance, another one is a spark instance. So coming to on-demand instance, we can use this for any temporary based instance. You can use it for a short time, and it's somewhat cheap as well. When you are planning the instances for a long term, for say an example, you are going to use it for a year or more than a year, then we can go with the reserved instance, because reserved instance is kind of postpaid, so you're going to pay for an entire year, and it is for mostly we can suggest for production servers, because the production server should be running on 24/7, so we need to use a reserved instance. But if you take on-demand instances, let's take in any testing environment, if you're going to use a server temporarily for a time being to test some application, I can suggest for on-demand instance. So that is what cost-wise when we need to pay for a particular time. How long we are going to run for 3 hours means 3 hours, like that. Coming to Spark instance, comparing with reserved instance and on-demand instance, Spark instances are very less expensive, but it is not recommended for production servers or any critical servers, because at any time we may lose the server, because on-demand or Spark instance is fixed for you. But when you're coming to the Spark instance, it's not in our hand. AWS may remove at any time, since they're giving it in a bidding price concept. Yeah, so this is what the three type of instances.
Okay. How are spot instances and on-demand instances different from one another?
Okay, ma'am. I think you are asking again about the difference between spot instance and on-demand instance, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, let me explain about it. So coming to on-demand, first let me explain about on-demand again to show you the difference. So on-demand instances, at any time we can launch, at any time we can terminate it. So we are going to pay only for the charges which we acquired. Maybe I can say for 2 hours or 3 hours or even 5 hours we are using, means based on our usage we are going to pay. But spot instance is not like that. Spot instance we are going to bid the price. So Amazon can fix some price. Okay. So when you are making when you are ready to pay the maximum amount based on the bidding, they will allocate it to us. So if in case Amazon can get a better opportunity with the other customer, okay, regarding the bidding price, they can give it to them. So spot instances are not reliable. We may lose the server at any time. Comparing with on-demand, on-demand is unless until you are terminating the server, you will have it. So this is the basic difference between the spot instance and on-demand. And on-demand instance only suggestible for high availability for your applications, and we are going with the pay-as-you-go model. If you take spot instance, it's hourly basis, okay, because you are going to bid the price for a specific hours. But on-demand is not like that. Even per second also we can do the charges. So likewise, we can say about the on-demand. So comparing with spot instance, on-demand instance best for production servers or testing servers, what are the critical servers. But spot instances are not recommended for the critical servers because they are providing with the spare Amazon instances. So it's only for a bidding price. Only if you are considering about less charges, you want to run some service in a less price, even if you're ready to lose the server, even if you're ready to lose, you can go with the Spartan instance.
The next question is, how do you upgrade or downgrade a system with near zero downtime?
Yes, ma'am. So when you're talking about zero downtime or near to zero downtime, the best option is we can go to our EC2 console. There we have option for my AMA. If you capture my AMA for a EC2 instance, with that my AMA you can multiply the same EC2 instance at any more time. And by the way, if you want to upgrade or you want to make a changes on your current working applications or current working EC2 instances, whatever the new updates which you want to do, that you can do it in the newly created EC2 instance by using the my AMA. So if it is working perfectly and as you expected, your latest update then means, then you can retire your older instance. So this is the way we can proceed for a zero downtime or near to zero downtime of a EC2 instance. I think this is the best solution.
Okay. What are the differences between NAT gateways and NAT instances?
Okay, coming to NAT gateway and NAT instance. Okay, so NAT gateway is the proper virtual network device for providing the NAT solution. Um, comparison, both are high availability because we are in the cloud. So both for NAT gateway and the instance also they are providing high available. But performance wise, bandwidth wise, NAT gateway is the best one because NAT gateway can provide up to 45 Gbps. But NAT instance is based on what instance type you are choosing. So there is a major difference between the bandwidth on NAT gateway and NAT instance. And next to that, maintenance. Coming to the maintenance, NAT gateway is managed full and full managed by AWS. But if you take a NAT instance, we have to manage because we are responsible for the NAT instance since we are creating. But NAT gateway is a managed NAT service. So that, and as I mentioned already, performance wise also NAT gateway is best. And then charges, when you coming to the charges, it depends on how much you are using the NAT gateway and how much network transaction is happening. So that depends on individual hardware resource which we are consuming. So price wise, it's based on our consumption, so we can't define, we can't differentiate anything. For NAT gateway, it's a uniform size for every VPC or every region. But NAT instance, you can, based on your need, you can change the hardware size. So that hardware customization is there. But for NAT gateway, it is uniform. So thereby it can give a better performance. And for NAT instance, you can assign the security group. But for NAT gateway, we can't assign the security group. So these are the major differences between the NAT gateway and NAT instances, I can say.
Okay, Venkatesh. What is the difference between stopping and terminating an EC2 instance?
Yeah, stopping EC2 instance is just like a shutdown your machine. So terminating EC2 instance means it will be you can't get back it will be permanently won't be available. So terminating the EC2 instance. So simply we can say deleting your EC2 instance from the AWS account. So stopping EC2 instance is normal shutdown. That's it, man.
How do you set up the SSH agent forwarding so that we don't have the how do you set up SSH agent forwarding so that we don't want to copy the key every time when you log in?
Yes, ma'am. So you're asking about how can we avoid the copying the SSH key every time? Yes, it's simple. We can have the putty configuration, right? So in the putty configuration, we have one option for a SSH auth. So in that SSH auth, you can mention, you can enable the agent forwarding option. So that every time we don't want to copy the key, so simply we can log in through putty itself by using this SSH agent forwarding on the authentication path.
Okay. How do you configure CloudWatch to recover an EC2 instance?
Okay, so CloudWatch, by using the CloudWatch means we can set alarm. Basically, we can set an alarm. So in that alarm, we have some actions page. So in that action page, we have an option for recover the instance. So thereby, we can recover our EC2 instance by using this CloudWatch alarm, and especially in the actions page in the alarm. That's the answer.
Okay. How can you log into EC2 instance if you have lost the key?
Yes, ma'am. So when we lost the key of EC2 instance, we can recover by running on temporary EC2 instance. So we can say like we need to detach the root volume from the running EC2 instance, and we need to attach it to the another one EC2 instance, so temporarily. And then you can modify the configuration file, which is especially SSHD config file under /etc sshd config. So there you can reset the password for any other users. So we can make from key-based authentication to password-based authentication. Once you made the changes, or once you done these changes, especially from key-based authentication to password-based authentication, you can set the username and password, and then you're able to log in even without a key. So you can get back to the original EC2 instance. You can attach the root volume again to the source EC2 instance. Then you can log in. It will log in.
Okay. What are the factors to consider while migrating to Amazon Web Services?
So basically, whenever we are working for a migration, not only for the web application, for every service, we should consider in the cost perspective, security aspect, and then operational. What current service which is providing the particular EC2 instance, what are the current services providing? The same equivalent operational should be exact operation should be in the cloud also. So while the migration, we have to mainly we have to look into as a business perspective. We have to mainly look into the same operational, same function should be in the instance in the cloud. Next one is it gives the same productivity. So we need to match with the exact hardware configuration as well. Also, we need to make it cost optimization, because we are moving into the cloud is the solution for cost optimization. So we need to consider the cost optimization, similar productivity, same functionality, and the high availability, operational resilience, we can say, and business agility. So these are the factors we need to consider before migrating any application or any service from on-premise to the cloud.
I have one scenario, Venkatesh. Just consider your organization is developing a new multi-tier web application in AWS. Being a fairly new and small organization, there is a limited staff, but the organization requires high availability. This new application comprises complex queries and table joins. For this scenario, what would be your suggestion?
I can get the requirement what you said. We can suggest DynamoDB. So DynamoDB can be suitable for this particular requirement, because in this scenario they are requiring multiple complex queries and table need to be added. So in that case, DynamoDB can do, because it can highly scalable, especially it is designed for highly scalable options. So comparing with any other RDS database services, which we can say Amazon Aurora or MariaDB or MySQL or even PostgreSQL, comparing with those, this customized scenario we can suggest DynamoDB. So I can suggest DynamoDB for this particular organization. That's it, ma'am.
Okay, Venkatesh. All the explanations are really good. I will hand over the data to HR team. They will get back to you. Thank you.